I feel a lot of different ways today. This has been a very hard day. I'm honestly going to just run through it and go from there. You know, I have sent, I spent so much time sending emails. I spent so much time preparing quotes. I spent so much time in so many different meetings today, and it's only Tuesday. And of course, like, I'm thankful to be busy, but I think I need things to move more. So just for some context, I recently quit my job. I hated it. Like, I literally hated it. My body, I could feel it. It just, I've never quit a full-time corporate job in this manner. I gave them a 2 weeks notice. That's new for me too. I think one time I gave a 1 week notice and another time I was just laid off. So this time I gave a 2 weeks notice. Worst 2 weeks ever in combination of the last month of working there. I hated the job. I hated the people I worked with. I was trying to maneuver through everything. Like, I was trying to maneuver having a job because I'm thankful, like, I was trying to be thankful that I have a job. But it was terrible. It really wasn't worth it at the end of the day. However, I have a business. So I moved back to Dallas. I moved back to Dallas from Charlotte. I was in Charlotte for like 6 months or less. And, I knew before I moved to Charlotte that I did not want to work for my company that much longer. But I knew that I was going to have to toughen it out just a little bit longer so that I could, have something going on while I built myself up in Charlotte. And then when I I would leave. And I was giving myself a year to get it right, and it was just before I left to move to Charlotte, I knew I wanted to leave my job 100%. I knew I wanted to leave. I've been wanting to quit my job since I basically got it. I only got it because I needed the means to get an apartment pretty much. And I didn't know how to do it with my business. And I knew I didn't want to stay with my parents. I had other goals as well. I needed to bring in more income and so forth. And then that was like my first time doing photography full time. And it was a very hard learning moment for me, but I was very proud of myself for holding it down. Also, I got the job pretty easily. Like, I got it through a referral. So it was like, cool, but I didn't want the job. I got it because I needed it to get me to where I wanted to go. I went around the world to get what I wanted, which was an apartment, which was this, which was that, to get those things that I wanted. So back in December, I got put on a new team, and the team was like, they were a little bit harder than what I was used to, but I was toughing it out. I was like, you know what? Diamonds are made under pressure. I was really doing the shit because I felt very motivated to work hard because I wanted to keep the job. I was like, I don't want to be unemployed in Charlotte when I know I don't have the motion out here. And then, so that was in December. I was holding it down. Things got harder. And then I was holding it down and I was like, all right. Beginning of the year, I was really over the job, but I was holding it down because I like I said, I have my motion in Dallas, but I'm in Charlotte. So it's like, you got to be humble, humble yourself. So then February rolls around and this lady at my job yelled at me on my internet. Like, we're on Wi-Fi. I worked remote. This lady yelled at me while I was trying to do my job to help her. And the walls, everything from there just truly deteriorated with everything involved with that job. In the moment, I just like hung up on her. Like, I said, I'm going to get this done. Bye. And hung up. And so, I kept my composure. I brought it up to my boss, higher ups, whatever. I did bring it to my boss's attention. My boss was so weak though. She can't do nothing. She my age. She can't do nothing. She's just a middle manager. Anyways, not too much on her. But I just felt like from that point, like, my morale with the company literally shot down. You raising your voice at me when I'm trying to help you and on my Wi-Fi and I'm in my house doing this shit? Are you kidding me? Fuck y'all. Fuck this. So from that point on, I actually, like, in combination with other factors, I was over Charlotte and I knew I was coming back to Dallas. And it didn't help also that I was already pursuing something to make me come back to Dallas, which I'll share in another video. But between that and knowing my motion is in Dallas, I moved my butt back. So I'm back. I told myself back in February, I was like, I would like to be done with this job by May. Then April kind of rolled around, which was the time I left Charlotte. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to hold it down just a bit longer. It was before April. It was probably after South by Southwest. I was like, I need to hold down this job a little bit longer because these moving expenses it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And, I moved at the beginning of April. It was just stacking up at that point, the expenses, the moving expenses and all of that. And I was like, woof, let me just hold it down. Like, I'll give myself 90 days after I land in Dallas to get out of that job. So that would have put me at about July, early August, pretty much, to get out of there. So that's what I was going for. But increasingly through these months, I swear to God, y'all, it literally only got worse. My mindset was trying to make it work, trying to be great, trying to do this, trying to do that. And it's like, I could not do it. Like, I'm not strong enough to do that. I don't have it in me to be miserable at a job, especially when it's through my Wi-Fi that I pay for. Y'all don't pay for that in my house or wherever I go, because I got to carry the job with me, right? And then it's like, it's becoming so mentally exhausting. I felt like I was trying to pull teeth. I felt like I was trying to herd cats, trying to move mountains for a job. And the pay, it was good. It was a nice to have. I always would say each month when I would get paid, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe it's a little bit worth it because of the paycheck. But even so, no. Like, it just wasn't worth it in the end. And I felt myself like mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially just degrading in my life, deteriorating in my life because of this job. I have other things, that was like my number one problem. Like, I got 99 problems and the job was the first one. I hated it. I couldn't do it. So, I was like, I'm moving my butt back to Dallas. I'm doing this really big project and I'm going to make this shit work. I have no choice but to go hard. I have no choice but to say no to what doesn't serve me. I have no choice but to get tight about some real shit. Like, get tight about my future, get tight about what I want in my life. You know what I was thinking? I was like, how can I go harder? I feel like I'm not going hard enough to be able to work for myself, to be able to do this and that. And I thought about getting married and having kids. So I do want that. But listen, that is not a solution to a now problem, especially when I'm not dating anyone. That's a crazy mindset. And that's where I was when I was like, I'm quitting this job. So yeah, I was like, I can't, this does a lot of factors outside of me that is keeping me in the job that if I go off of that, that's crazy actually. So I was like, nah.
No. I ain't doing no wrestling.
Just gave up. I was like, you know what? Things just got really terrible at the job. Like, my mind, like, I kind of blank a bit because it's like, when you're traumatized, like, you can lose memory sometimes. I haven't lost a memory. I remember how I feel, but it's like those specific things, like, I can feel them when I like really think about it, but it's like, I'm still traumatized. I'm only a couple of weeks removed, less than a month removed. And I've had all these other things just happen and just stack up. Like, today was terrible, y'all. Like, it's not technically terrible. It's just been a fucking lot. I have another fucking meeting. I don't want to meet today. I've had enough meetings. I've had enough phone calls. I've had enough going back and forth. I've had so much shit. So much. I'm just over it. Like, today, I'm over this shit. Like, I'm over this, all of this. It's just annoying. I'm so annoyed. I'm so tired. And today has been very hard. And I have no one to talk to. I have my parents, my family, and my friends. I could tell them, but it's like they just don't understand, and I don't feel like explaining all of this to them right now. They know what I've been through. They know what I've been complaining about. They know the longest. They know more than y'all. And it's just been too damn much for me. And today has been a lot. It's been too much. It's been a lot. And then I got another fucking meeting. I'm so tired of these meetings, bruh. Like, my calendar last week for this week was empty, but my calendar last week was full. And then it's like I have my calendar for this week is filling up. It's kind of interesting to see because I'm like, it's like every week it's like filling up. It's kind of interesting. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a couple weeks, like 2 weeks now. I'm going on week 2 of being self-employed full time. I had client meetings that it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been so much. It's been a lot. I'm talking in circles, but I'm pissed. Just know, today just really sucked. I'm tired of emails. I'm tired of phone calls. I'm tired of meetings. You know, even despite these feelings, I'm going to continue with my meetings. I'm going to continue working on these like proposals and projects and so forth. Like, things are moving despite how I feel right now. I can tell you, before the end of the summer, I'm going to have just 1 week where I just check out. I'm not taking no meetings. I'll respond to emails, but I'm not doing no meetings for a week. And I'm going to give that to myself, because I was thinking last week, which was my first full week working for myself full time, being self-employed full time. I was like, how did I even take all these meetings and do all of this? Like, I was still making moves and progress while there at my job, but it was very hard to do both, but I was doing it. And I was like, how did I do this? Like, there's some magic, some sorcery, some trickery. It's crazy, because I'm working for myself full time now, and I feel like I'm still feeling the same way. I still feel behind. I still feel like I'm not doing things to my fullest capabilities. I told myself yesterday, I'm like, you need a routine. So I wrote out a routine. Then I freaking ended up sleeping in because I woke up so late in the middle of the night. And then it's just been a domino effect. But I accomplished a lot. I had like 10 things on my list today to do, and I got to 7 of them. So I got 3 more things to do. It's just been so time consuming and so all encompassing of my mind and body and soul right now to do this. But I'm so determined. And even though this was a bad day, even though I'm so pissed, even though I done been in back-to-back meetings, I got another meeting back-to-back until 7 o'clock, and it's 5:30. I'm just like, you know what? Even this is way more. Even on my off days, even on a day like this shit is still this is still where I want to be. This entrepreneur life is for me. That corporate life, dealing with being harassed and disrespected and undermined and mistreated and misaligned and struggling and internally so bad to try and hold down a job. No, even on an off day like this is still better than that. And that's all I got to say.